Hello. This week, meetings, phone calls, Google Documents, emails, this and that, and let's get started. My dad and I are pushing forward with his project on 6th Street, which will be about 60 cottages arranged in a community. This multi-million-dollar project has a lot of moving pieces, and so we need to get buy-in from local influencers. And so we're meeting with Carol Roberts, who's the Bay County Chamber of Commerce head. Carol is an awesome force for good around Bay County. We definitely want her excited about our project. Bookkeeping tip number 1. Every expense and every deposit gets a customer assigned. And for our real estate company that has 3 properties in it, we're going to add a 4th customer called All Properties. So when you spend money, it goes to one of the 3 properties or it goes to the All Properties, which would be like office supplies. You can also split an expense to be a part of 2 different customers, but you always want to let your accountant know what was the revenue stream that was this money used for? Where did this money go? Like when the money comes in, what revenue stream did it come from? Which property? And when it goes out, what property was it associated with? So that is your bookkeeping tip of the week. Back to work.
Will you get all the rats out before I come in?
The rats are not here.
Get them out.
I don't have a call right now. I'm pulling my sock out.
For sweat yoga.
Sweat yoga. We are here to take this floor plan and transcribe it on the ground with spray paint. Then we're going to walk the floor plan to see if it feels right, because the wall may need to be moved over a foot or something like that. So this is what we're going to be doing right here. Spray painting these lines on the ground and walking it. Look at this. Okay, I'll open this front door. I'm so hot and sweaty. I'm sweating my body.
Oh my.
We were here for 5 minutes. It's 92 degrees outside. Inside this building with no AC is about 2,040 degrees. Look at the sweat rolling off behind my mouth. Look at my muscles glistening. I'm trying to keep it PG. Oh. Tastes delicious. All right, I'm gonna log out. The Downtown Improvement Board, or DIB, is a board made up of local property owners in our downtown district. This organization is run by citizens, but funded by an additional property tax. In this meeting, they're deciding how to spend money. And one of their big projects is to get an old dry cleaner torn down, so then DEP can come in and clean up the contamination. This is a huge win for our downtown because this dry cleaner has been a blighted property for over 30 years. I think the DIB made a great decision to allocate money to help tear down this old dry cleaner. Hello, good afternoon. We are filming a show for the brewery. Currently it's called Brewing a Business. I don't have a buyer yet for this content. I really don't know what I'm doing most of the time. I'm going to pitch our little pilot to people who may be interested in buying it. I do this, big secret. First you have to figure out who's buying content. All the major brands are buying content. anybody, any retail outlet is buying content, any manufacturer of clothing, but I'm going after major content distributors. Apple, Roku, Facebook, Hulu, Netflix, there's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of streaming services. And so I'm basically putting together a hit list of people who I think would buy it. Now, when I pitch it, I'm sending an email. What I don't want to do is send all my emails at once. I basically want to test my email. So I'm starting with Roku. I've gone on LinkedIn. I literally typed in Roku content. Content acquisition at Roku. Content acquisition at Roku. These two people, I'm going to figure out what their email addresses are and send them an email. Now you insert.
You got mail.
I'm going to send them an email with a link to our pitch page. Again, I'm making all this up. I have no idea how you pitch a show. It's a web page describing the video series, pictures of Ann and I, shooting dates. Here's a link to a document that we're working on of what we're going to be shooting, talking about the previous project and who we worked with, and linking to the episodes. And this basically validates that we're a good production team. I think that's what a pitch would be. I don't really know what a pitch would be. This week we start sending the brewery teaser or trailer or pilot, whatever you want to call it, to potential content buyers to see what they think. Maybe someone wants to buy the show. Maybe the show's garbage. I'm thinking it's probably garbage. Hello. Today, in about 2 hours, I have a 30-minute talk I'm giving to an introductory class of architecture, history of architecture, at our local college. My architect, Antonio, flashed Antonio, a little screenshot of Antonio right here. Antonio's a professor of architecture at the local college, and he asked me to speak about my projects and what I love about architecture and my background. When I write a talk, I don't write a talk. It's really more of a slideshow story. These are basically chapters in what I'm going to talk about. I kind of know what I'm going to talk about, but I don't script a talk. I kind of give myself, the pictures are really for me to know what to talk about. So that's worked in the past. We'll see how that works today. Probably all these students will drop out of college by this afternoon once my talk is over. They'll all just drop out and work in fast food restaurants or dig ditches. Mission accomplished. Colleges. Lost. I'm lost. Anthony was like 2 weeks ago, he was like, come talk to my students, and I was like, I'm not an architect. I grew up working at my parents' car washes, and my grandfather started restaurants, and again, I'm baby stepping into real estate. I'm not a real estate person. I don't feel like a real estate person. I feel like a software person. You may not be an architect, but you're just collecting tools that you may pull out later on. One day, design your home and be like, damn, I wish I took that class in Antonio and not dropped it on the second day.
Or second week.
It was the second day.
It's better on the second day.
Yeah. I'm emailing Roku and Hulu and Amazon to try to sell this trailer, this show we're creating about the brewery to them. Again, I have no idea anything about this stuff. It actually makes me really nervous. I'm basically going after people who I don't think are the decision makers, hoping they can help me understand how to pitch a show. I start off saying, if this is not the correct person, please forward me to the right person in your department. We're in production with a new show. Do you have a formal pitch process? And I even say, I feel silly even asking this. Hopefully someone goes, I'm gonna tell them how this works. What I don't want to do is create an email and go after a top tier decision maker in these companies, but hopefully someone down the chain a little bit says, here's what you need to do, email this person, we ask for these kind of questions, blah, blah, blah. I'm sending a few of these, see what comes back, and we'll go from there. I absolutely love owning real estate downtown. It's more than just buildings. You are a caretaker of the building and the stories involved in the area. And these are a few photos that I found on the Bay County, Florida Photo Archive. It's Friday, the week is wrapping up, it's almost time for a beer. There were a lot of things this week that we didn't show you, that I can't show you. Meetings with real estate people and city officials to get buy-in on real estate projects. Can't really show those things, but the week's done. It's time for a beer. See you on Monday.
Noise couldn't quite locate your